A dispute over islands in the East China Sea is hurting Japanese business. Electronics giants Canon and Panasonic have decided to suspend operations at some of their plants in China as protests there continue. A group of around 100 protesters marched to the Japanese embassy in Beijing on Monday. There have been regular protests that turned violent on Sunday. Earlier, Japan's Prime Minister called on Beijing to guarantee the safety of its citizens and property. Well, as the territorial dispute escalates, China has sent warships to the seas near the islands. They've been conducting live ammunition drills.
Anger boils over and police struggle to contain the nationalist fervour. A Japanese department store under attack and Hong Kong's own police force. Thousands of protesters angry at what they say is Japan's territorial aggression and their government's inaction.
I don't think you can negotiate on territory. War is the only answer.
From now on, they will be destroyed by China, by economic ways or by whatever means.
Japanese should send away their officials from the island first, because if not, everybody will going to be sent armies, and then this will be becoming another war.
2 days of protest targeting Japanese interests. Japan's called for guarantees its citizens won't be harmed, but its businesses might suffer. Chinese state media has published a list of companies to boycott, and China's central television has stopped ads for Japanese products on 2 of its main channels. For months, tensions have been escalating over the East China Sea islands. China reacted angrily when Japan's government last week purchased the chain. On Sunday, Japan's newly appointed ambassador to China, Shinichi Nishimiya, died 3 days after collapsing near his home in Tokyo. No official cause of death has been released.
Only a few Chinese newspapers are reporting the vandalism and looting of Japanese companies and stores across the country. An editorial in the Communist Party's official paper, The People's Daily, says citizens should express their patriotism by obeying the law. This reflects Chinese authorities' attempts to prevent these protests from getting out of control. Demonstrators in China are gearing up for an anniversary Tuesday connected with Japan's 1931 invasion of Manchuria. They're planning rallies that day in at least 35 cities across the country.
The United States has warned tension between China and Japan over a disputed archipelago could lead to armed conflict. The uninhabited islands in the East China Sea are administered by Japan, which calls them Senkaku, but are claimed by China, where they're known as Diaoyu.
On a tour of Asia, U.S. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta acknowledged that the disputed islands are covered by the Japan-U.S. Security Treaty. This could oblige the United States to defend the islets on Japan's behalf should China take action to reassert its sovereignty over them. But he was careful not to take sides, instead calling on all parties to exercise restraint.
Obviously, we're concerned by the demonstrations, and we're concerned by the conflict that is taking place over the Senkaku Islands. And the message that I've tried to convey is a message that we have to urge calm and restraint on all sides. The United States policy with regards to these islands is well known, and obviously we stand by our treaty obligations. They're long-standing, and that has not changed. But the United States, as a matter of policy, does not take a position with regards to competing sovereignty claims. Having said that, we expect that these issues will be resolved peacefully. And although, we understand the differences here with regards to jurisdiction, it is extremely important that diplomatic means on both sides be used to try to constructively resolve these issues.